If you could just like briefly give us a short introduction as to what your thesis research project was at John Jay. I'm sure the people
Oh,
will love to hear that.
yeah. We did it in conjunction with the NYPD lab. And the question documents unit, which is, I think, one of the best kept secrets in most labs. They have some of the coolest toys to play with. They will process documents for handwriting analysis. They'll try to get finger marks off of it. They will try to develop any indented writing that may not be readily visible. But one of the things they wanted to do is see, can we collect DNA from the paper itself? And the theory being is if I'm writing, as I'm writing across it, my wrist will scrape along the paper and maybe I'm shedding some DNA onto the paper surface itself. So that was what I got tasked for. Previous to my attempt, the only way we could get it is if we cut the paper up into little like 3 centimeter squares and then digest all of them and develop DNA that happened to be on it. My solution to that was to take a pipette, a glass pipette, and flip it and stick a swab in the one end of it and attach it to a vacuum pump. So it became a little tiny vacuum that I could glide across the surface of the paper and hopefully pull up any of the DNA that happened to be there. It actually worked, which was more surprising to me than anybody else when it actually happened. But then we accidentally discovered that not only had I been able to get the DNA out of it, we didn't interfere with any fingerprints were there. And we also didn't interfere with any of the indented writing that was there. So these were very, very happy accidents to the technique that we created. But it worked really well. On the flip side, when you're writing your thesis and you're having success after success after success, when they're going, oh, you know what, try it with this. Oh, now try it with this. You're going,
Yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah.
going, I'm never graduating. Okay. But it was a really cool project to work on. Which is the other thing, if you get into forensics, especially when you get to your graduate level, don't get enamored of what it is you think you want to work on. Because when I worked with my mentor, I thought I was working with cartridge casings, and I was going to go to the range and I'm going to shoot a couple of guns and I'm going to get DNA off the casings or the bullets
Right.
and no, I was working on scraps of paper, and it was so much
Likewise.
cooler than what my first thought line was. So, a lot of times that's hard to get around when you have this mindset of, I'm going to split the atom. Nope, I'm gonna just do the atom's laundry
Right.
in this particular case.
That's a really
Yeah.
interesting study. You might not even have picked up inhibitors like ink and things like that. Well,
Nope, we
yeah,
didn't we didn't get
that's
any
really
of the
good.
dye out of the paper. It
Yeah.
was it was I'm gonna pretend it was genius, but it was just
No, it is.
totally like this is I can't believe this works sort of thing. And then even better when you invent an apparatus that's only costs about 6 cents to make, people tend to be a lot happier with you as opposed to
Mm.
1,000, like you said, $1,000 for PCR reagents.
Yeah, that's
Do,
really
do, do you
amazing.
have a name for this?
We
Sorry,
call it the
sorry,
Patty
Nitty.
Macvac.
Amazing. Beautiful.
We have to find a PMV and turn it into something like pneumatic vacuum or something, but it's really the Patty Macvac.
Fair
And then
enough.
the NYPD adapted it. A couple of other agencies have adapted it and did their validation studies with it. But what's also funny is having some of the people that we were in school with who now work at the PD lab and other students that have like, we got briefed on the Patty Macvac today.
That is very cool. That is
That's
very,
so
very cool.
cool.